Yeah, they wouldn't let anybody put that on Michael's.
I'm so thankful that we're able to be here in person tonight or today and via live stream to celebrate this great group of students. Over the last couple of years, we've had to do a lot of adapting. So our White Coat ceremonies have either been online or with reduced capacity audiences with mask mandates. So it's awesome that we can be here in person and increase the audience size and ditch the masks for the most part. which is awesome because these young professionals truly deserve our acknowledgement and our congratulations for all of their hard work and accomplishments to attain this milestone in their careers. A great deal of effort, smiles, laughs, tears, and even a few face masks have been expended to this point to get here. PT school is hard enough as it is under ideal circumstances, but this group has persevered through a pandemic. So for myself, the faculty, the staff, and the administration of Emory Community College, congratulations. So at this time, I would like to recognize the legacy of this college. So if we have any Emory and Henry alumni with us today who are here to support these DPT students, please stand and be recognized. Now we have a few. Welcome home. Sitting up here with me are some very important supporters of our program. And that includes the Vice President of the School for Health Sciences, Dr. Lou Fincher, Dr. Rose Pignatera, the Assistant Chair of the DPT program, and she's actually going to be our honorary speaker tonight, and the rest of the PT faculty, including Dr. Christy Angelo-Fulu, and she will be speaking to us shortly about the meaning of the white coat. At this time, I would like to turn the podium over to Dr. Lou Fincher. I think the faculty and the students all would agree that without her unwavering support for our program, we would not be where we are today. We sincerely appreciate all that she has done and that she continues to do, which has allowed us to develop into the program that we are and to serve our students and the communities of Southwest Virginia and Northeast Tennessee. Dr. Fincher.
Thank you, Dr. Coley. I also want to thank Divya Doss and Hannah Dolan, who reached out to me on behalf of their classmates to invite me to speak today at this white coat ceremony. Also, on behalf of the Emory and Henry College School of Health Sciences, I want to welcome the family and friends of our DPT students. We're so, as Dr. Coley said, we're so glad that you're able to join us here today, and we welcome those that might be joining us via live stream. I'd also like to welcome the community members, if any are present, from Marion and Smith County. You have become a special part of our Emory and Henry family, and we appreciate the ways that you have really welcomed the School of Health Sciences and our students. So, class of 2023, today is an extra special milestone for you, and we're here to celebrate your upcoming transition from your didactic phase of your program to your full-time clinical phase, full-time patient care. I know that each of you have worked very hard and made many sacrifices to reach this milestone today. And you've been persistent and resilient in your pursuit of this goal, not allowing anything to stop you, not even a global pandemic. I was asked to focus my remarks this afternoon on Emory and Henry's traditions of excellence and their relevance to today's white coat ceremony and the next phase of the journey that our class of 2023 will take. Many in the audience may not be aware that Emory and Henry College is actually the oldest institution of higher education here in Southwest Virginia, having been founded in 1836. Not only has Emory and Henry been recognized as a pioneer in establishing higher education in rural Southwest Virginia, but we're now recognized as a leader in higher education in this region, and I'm proud to say also now being recognized as an institution that prepares highly qualified healthcare professionals to meet the healthcare needs and the workforce needs of this region. And I would say that the latter recognition is really due to the hard work and commitment of our School of Health Sciences faculty and staff, our alumni, and our current students. And we are so proud to be able to move forward and continue to prepare highly qualified healthcare professionals, starting with the class of 2023 that will go out just shortly into your full-time rotations. The college's tradition of commitment to this region and service to the surrounding communities was influential in actually the college developing the School of Health Sciences. and the Doctor of Physical Therapy program. We recognize that strong communities begin with happy, healthy people who are served by highly qualified healthcare professionals. And our health sciences programs have embraced that commitment to the region and to our surrounding communities. And the DPT program has certainly been a leader in these efforts. I want to commend the DPT class of 2023 for your level of engagement in community service initiatives in support of the town of Marion and in the surrounding community. Emory and Henry is also well known for its rich history of transforming lives and increasing excellence. In fact, the historic motto of Emory and Henry, Macte Virtute, means increase in excellence. And this expectation for seeking excellence permeates all aspects of our college, is embedded within the mission and the culture of our School of Health Sciences, and by extension into the DPT program and into now the DPT class of 2023. Today's white coat ceremony is just one example of the rich traditions of excellence that have now been established within the School of Health Sciences and the DPT program. As Dr. Coley mentioned, this ceremony now marks the 6th annual celebration of our DPT students' transition to clinical patient care. Remember, your clinical rotations are still a part of your formal education, and up to this point, your faculty have pushed you, challenged you, cheered you on to be successful, cheered each other on, supported each other. And in order to gain the absolute best experience in your clinical rotations, you must now push and challenge yourself. Don't rest on your laurels, don't stop learning, and always push for an increased level of excellence from yourself. As you complete your clinical rotations, you will be leaving a lasting impression on your clinical preceptors and others at your clinical sites as to what should be expected of an Emory and Henry DPT student. You will, in essence, be serving as an ambassador for Emory and Henry and creating or maintaining the reputation and the legacy of the Emory and Henry School of Health Sciences and DPT program. You will also have the opportunity to hone your physical therapy skills while making a difference in your patients and the lives of your patients' family and caregivers. I encourage you to make the most of every day for both your own learning and for your patients' improved health. DPT class of 2023, congratulations to each of you as you begin your full-time clinical rotations, and Godspeed. It's now my distinct pleasure to introduce to you the honorary speaker for today's white coat ceremony, Dr. Rose Pignataro. Dr. Pignataro is an associate professor in the Emory and Henry Department of Physical Therapy and also serves as the assistant department chair. Prior to joining the DPT faculty at Emory and Henry in May of 2020, Dr. Pignataro served as the chair of physical therapy at Advent Health University in Orlando. She's also served as a faculty member at University of South Florida, Florida Gulf Coast University, Gannon University, and Stony Brook University. Dr. Pignataro earned her Bachelor of Science degree in Physical Therapy from Hunter College, City University of New York, followed by a Master of Science in Health Science Education and Post-Professional DPT degree from Stony Brook University, and a PhD in Public Health from West Virginia University. Her 30-plus years of clinical experience as a physical therapist and 20-plus years of experience as a PT educator have made her a great asset to our DPT program, which our students have clearly recognized. In her 2 years at Emory and Henry, she has clearly established herself as an excellent teacher, one who is passionately committed to preparing her students to be excellent, caring physical therapists. Again, it is my honor to introduce to you Dr. Rose Pignataro.
I'd like to thank the class of 2023 for selecting me as today's speaker. I was very touched and honored by the invitation. As Dr. Fincher said, I have been teaching for a very long time. My first class graduated in 1999 when I was 5 years old. And back in 1999, most of my current students were just teeny tiny future physical therapists. I'm blessed to say that every cohort that I have helped educate has made an impression, but the class of 2023 is particularly close to my heart. Maybe it's because you're all so special, and of course, there's the possibility that we have bonded over some shared trauma. I started at Emory and Henry, as Dr. Fincher said, at the same time that the class of 2023 walked through our doors. And like you, I had considered some of the important characteristics of a PT program: accreditation status, faculty expertise, access to resources. And like you, I made sacrifices to be here, like leaving family and friends, relocating to Southwest Virginia, and beginning a new adventure. Unlike you and your mountain of student debt, I actually get a salary, something I imagine that you are looking forward to as you come to the close of your journey. Today, as we celebrate that transition from academic life to clinical practice, it gives us the perfect opportunity to reflect on everything that you have already accomplished. It also gives us a chance to thank your family, friends, and loved ones for their support, and to recognize the efforts of the faculty and staff in mentoring you on this journey. It's also a chance for me to brag a little bit about you, my future colleagues, and I'm going to take the opportunity to do that. During our first year together, I told you all about my top secret list. I think you remember. That's the list that contains the names of any and all past students who should never be allowed near my bedside if I'm ever incapacitated and unable to make my own medical decisions. And although there aren't very many people on that list, there are a few healthcare practitioners out there that I wouldn't even allow to pet my dogs, let alone care for me, my family, or friends. And I'm thrilled to no end to announce publicly that none of you are on this list. In fact, I would feel honored and comforted by the thought of any one of you serving as part of my medical team. I would not hesitate in the least to recommend you to my family or friends, and I certainly wouldn't stop you from petting my dogs. In fact, Gracie wanted me to tell you that she is extremely proud of all of you. However, Gracie also wanted you to know that Vanessa is her favorite. It's probably because Vanessa made her that lovely, handcrafted Emory and Henry sweater. It's not every dog that has a handmade Emory and Henry sweater. Gracie takes hers very seriously. On a serious note, the face of healthcare continues to change in very concerning ways. As you realize, we're being asked to do more and more with less and less resources. Insurance companies are attempting to restrict patient care by withholding payment and resources. We are being challenged by higher volumes, tighter schedules, and ridiculous amounts of paperwork and administrative burden. The American population is getting older and sicker, and care is often complicated by multiple chronic conditions, like the escalating rates of heart disease, cancer, and diabetes. If it sounds depressing, it might be, if it weren't for my confidence in the next generation of professionals. The challenges you face are incredibly difficult, but we've already seen objective evidence of your ability to successfully do hard things. To quote a great ancient philosopher, your spaghetti is definitely tight. Friends and loved ones, let me briefly describe the academic preparation that went into bringing these white-coated superheroes to this particular point in time. Students enter our graduate program with heavy prerequisites that include at least 2 semesters of biology, 2 semesters of chemistry, 2 semesters of physics, foundational anatomy and physiology, basic statistics, psychology, and any other courses that they need to earn their bachelor's degree. Then, as soon as they get here to us, we basically try to kill them. Some people have compared that first semester of PT school like trying to drink water from a fire hose that's on full blast. Students have to absorb what they can while trying not to drown. Sure, there are people around you that help you stand strong against the pressure, but ultimately, you are the only ones who can take it all in. Anatomy, histology, kinesiology, physiology, patient care skills, professional issues, and that's just your first semester. It's a lot like one of my favorite TV shows, Naked and Afraid. But if we made a show about your experiences, we'd have to call it Afraid and Almost Naked, because we'd still be wearing our N95 masks. Yes, not only did you drink from the fire hose without drowning, you did all of this during a global pandemic, because you're a bunch of stinking overachievers. You have faced an incredible amount of stress and fear of the unknown as we navigated uncharted waters together. Navigating uncharted waters can be terrifying. We even talked about that in professional issues class. I'm sure you remember our discussion about how we would use our core values and our ethics to load the life raft if ever our boat was sinking. I'm not going to mention anybody's name, but some of us even contemplated who we might eat first if it came down to a matter of survival. They did learn that from me. Social scientist Brene Brown wrote, "Hope is a function of struggle. Your success is a product of that hope." Sometimes we like to tell you that grades don't matter. And what we actually mean by that is that when the rubber meets the road, none of your patients are really going to care that you had to remediate a quiz. In 30 plus years of practice, I've never had a patient or family member ask me about my GPA. Yet we all know that grades do matter. They matter in your ability to successfully complete your coursework, pass your comprehensive exams, and your ability to achieve licensure. But here's the catch. Those tests only give us limited information. In reality, they're a stopgap measure to ensure basic competency. They're our assurance that you know what you know, you recognize what you don't know, and you're committed to keep learning as you continue professional practice. So from this perspective, grades are important, but they should never be your full measure of success. You all know how much I love being a teacher, and I pride myself on being a high-quality educator. I tell you all the time that I know this is costing you a lot of money, and I want to make sure that I give you what you paid for. We recognize that our students work hard, but I'm not ashamed to say that I also work hard, and so does the rest of this faculty. So I'm going to take a moment to brag on them a little bit too. I am part of a team that includes board-certified specialists from almost every area of practice. People who are dedicated to their craft and have honed top-notch skills, treating patients at every point along the lifespan. Please know that I pat myself on the back every time one of my students passes their boards. But I'm also incredibly humbled by the fact that I cannot possibly take credit for any of the characteristics that are truly responsible for making you excellent physical therapists, and more than that, excellent human beings. Over the past 2 years, you have shown enormous amounts of grit, determination, and resilience. There were times that you were knocked down and had to catch your breath, just to get up and do it all over again. Brene Brown also said, "The truth is that falling hurts. The dare is to keep being brave and feel your way back up." Nobody imagined that you'd start your PT career in the middle of a pandemic. None of us imagined what that would add to your journey. And really, none of us truly knows what it will continue to add in terms of the challenges that you will face as physical therapists. But I am confident that you will face it with the same integrity, strength, and courage that you have already shown. Finally, I want to pass along one of my favorite scriptures. It's a quote from King Solomon, written in Proverbs chapter 4, verse 23. "Above all else, guard your heart, for everything that you do flows from it." Your heart holds the key to your personal and professional success. It is, in fact, your best asset. Be confident in your accomplishments, but brave enough to try new things. Celebrate where you're at right now along your journey, while recognizing that these are only the first steps towards a wonderful future. Invariably, when we interview people during the admissions process, and we ask them why they want to be PTs, what do they say? because I want to help people. Use your mind and your heart to keep helping people. No matter how challenging the healthcare landscape becomes, I'm hopeful knowing that my beloved profession is in very good hands. So congratulations, my future colleagues, with my sincere admiration for everything that you have accomplished to bring you to this moment. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Picard, for your truly inspiring words. I know the students, as well as all of the rest of the audience and the faculty, really appreciate your words of wisdom, and the students really appreciate your support that you've shown them throughout their whole career. So thank you again for the good work. At this time, I would like to invite Dr. Christine Tulapulu, a member of our core faculty, to the podium. Dr. A, as she is known to the students, is going to provide you with the history and the significance of the white coat. Dr. Tulapulu.
Good afternoon. That's a very nice speech and very difficult to follow that up with, Dr. That was fantastic. A lot of what I want to say has been echoed by the past speakers today. And what I would like to do is I want to start by recognizing the support system of the class of 2023, because you too have been through PT school. Parents and spouses, significant others, family, friends, adoptive parents from Marion, children, you know what it takes to be that listening ear. You have been the one who had to listen about the complaints about Dr. Graham's exams. You've been there for late nights and early mornings, studying and preparing. You've been through the stresses of PT school. You've been guinea pigs for examination. And I'm almost certain that you've already been given advice about your posture, your shoes, and critiqued about the way you walk. But you've also shared in their joys and their successes, and you've supported them through the stressful and the trying times. There's a reason that the students have been stressed, and I just want to confirm what Dr. P said, is that we do bring a fire hose to the student on continuous spray. But the students' experiences are about to change. It's going to be a shift from the stresses of school to the new level of responsibility and commitment. They took in as much as they possibly could, and at times it may have felt like they were drowning. But they made it. You made it. And now you're here. And you're here today, and you're surrounded by your greatest supporters. Your family, your faculty, the administration, and your community. And today you're here to take part in a very symbolic and a traditional event of receiving your clinical white coat, marking the transition into full-time clinical education. And while the tradition of the white coat is relatively new, it's been established in 1993, the meanings behind it date back to the era of Hippocrates. The white coat symbolizes professionalism, humanism, and compassion. Receiving the white coat has been thought of as a rite of passage, as a symbol of joining the medical profession. And along with that rite of passage comes with it responsibility, obligations, and accountability. Accountability for excellence and for compassion and inclusiveness. Today you'll be asked to take an oath to your profession. And we ask that as you accept your white coat, that you make this commitment to your profession and also to your patients. We ask that you make a commitment to yourself to maintain the highest level of personal morality. Before your faculty, community, and family, you're making a commitment to respect the rights and the dignity of all, to exercise sound judgment and demonstrate integrity at all times. You're making the commitment to lifelong learning, and we ask that you accept these duties and these responsibilities that embody the profession of physical therapy. And we challenge you to the highest level of morality and excellence, and to never accept mediocrity. This is a very big responsibility, and sometimes it can feel overwhelming. I like to make the analogy of the white coat to the gloves of a surgeon. They're necessary for every procedure. They're there to protect the patient from harm and from an infection, but they're also there to protect the surgeon. Without that protection, both the patient and the clinician are vulnerable. But it's not the gloves that perform that delicate surgery. It's the hands of the surgeon. The symbol of the white coat is to protect both you and your patients, but ultimately, it's what's inside the coat that makes the difference in the life of a patient. When these students come home at the end of their workday, the conversations at home are soon going to change. From the stresses of school life to the joys of accomplishing what was once a dream. There's nothing more fulfilling than a patient looking at you in the eyes and thanking you for changing their life. And we, the faculty of Emory and Henry College, welcome you as colleagues to one of the greatest professions in the world. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. A. Your words truly serve as a reminder to all the healthcare providers, especially all the physical therapists here today, about the symbolic significance of the white coat and our obligation that goes along with that to those that we serve. And that includes our patients, clients, their families, and our communities. Very strong words. Before calling the students to stand for their coding, I would like to recognize our faculty by asking them to stand and remain standing as I call their names. And please hold applause until we all recognize them all. First up, Dr. A, which we've already met. Next is Dr. Dustin Barrett. Dr. Steve Whitaker. Dr. William Bodfish. The infamous Dr. John Graham. And Dr. Rosemary Gadara, whom we've already met also. Dr. Kathleen Savage. And lastly, a couple that could not be here with us, and that's Dr. Julia Castleberry and Dr. Ashley Nick. They were not going to be here because of prior commitments, but I know that they're sending their heartfelt congratulations to the students. So thank you. And again, we're basically stating the same thing a couple of the other speakers have already said, that without these outstanding faculty members, this program would not be possible. They really do provide endless wisdom and support to our students, and they do also sacrifice a great deal personally to basically produce a program that will allow us to call these students colleagues in the very near future. So thank you for all that you do. Now, it would also be remiss if we do not also recognize some key supporters who always have our backs and work tirelessly to support the program and the students and the faculty. So I know some of them are here, some of them are not. If they're not here, I'm still going to recognize them. But please do, if you're here, please stand as I call your name, and again, hold applause until we recognize all of these. First up, Dr. J.P. Barfield, our Associate Dean of the School of Health Sciences. Ms. Tracy Reinhardt, our Director of Admission. I think she is not able to be here. Ms. Judy Sweat, our Administrative Assistant, and she is not able to be here. Ms. Dawn Veach, our Clinical Education Specialist, and again, she will not be here. But Ms. Karen Alley is. She's our Administrative Office Manager. She's somewhere here, maybe in the back. There we go. There we go. And really, I think they were being called out, but any of the community members who served as adopted parents for our students, again, thank you. And any adjunct faculty members that we have that are here supporting these students, please stand and be recognized. Thank you all. Now it's on to the key moment of the ceremony that we're all waiting for. Time to coat the students. So students in the first row at least, please stand. Place your coat over your left forearm and proceed to the stairs so that you can come to the stage when you're called upon to be coated by your faculty mentor. I also ask that the faculty come forward as I call your name to be coated, basically coating your faculty mentees. First up, Dr. A, please come forward. going to be coding her mentees, and we're starting with Jaslyn Frankenville. Vanessa Liang. Lindsay Grace Wynn. Christopher Patrick O'Sullivan. Danielle Page Wolf. Next up, I'd like to invite out Dr. Barrett to code his mentees. Tanner Cox. Divya Bose Das. Kaylee Gilbert. Orthika Patel. Nicole Carol Scuddy. Dr. Bitter, please come forward. Ryan Cartwright. Tilia Fu. Hannah Marie Lockoff. Garrett Ziegler.
Good.
We practice with another pair. Dr. Bodfish, please come up. Jolie. Haley Wynn. Dr. Graham, please come forward. Hannah Elizabeth Owen. Marcus Johnston. Catherine Marie Martin. Sarah Ziegler. Dr. P, please come forward. Brittany Asante. Lauren Campbell. Megan Jacoby. Michael Mueller. Sergio Salazar. Dr. Savage, please come forward. Balin Dillon. Haley Jacobs. Corbin LeClaire. At this time, I would like to invite Michael Mueller, the class president, to the podium to lead your classmates in the physical therapy oath, which can be found on the back of the program. Michael.
Yeah, Mike.
At this time, I'd like to ask the Doctoral Physical Therapy class of 2023 to please rise. And join me as we say the physical therapy oath in unison. As a physical therapist dedicated to providing the highest quality of care and services, I solemnly pledge I will respect the rights and dignity of all individuals who seek my services or with whom I practice. Act in a compassionate and trustworthy manner in all aspects of my services. Exercise sound judgment while abiding by legal and ethical requirements. Demonstrate integrity during interactions with colleagues, other healthcare providers, students, faculty, researchers, the public, and payers for the enhancement of patient care and the advancement of the profession. Enhance my practice through lifelong acquisition and application of knowledge, skills, and professional behavior. Participate in efforts to meet physical therapy and healthcare needs of local, national, and global communities. Thus, with this oath, I accept the duties and responsibilities that embody the profession of physical therapy. Thank you. You may be seated. And at this time, I would like to invite Dr. Eric Coley back up for closing remarks.
Thank you, Mike. At this time, I'd like to encourage one more round of applause for these students. I would also like to thank all of you for joining us today to honor these students and celebrate this moment with them. It's certainly an important moment in their careers. Thank you and congratulations to the class of 2023. Us as the faculty and administration staff, we all certainly expect great things from you. At this point, that's going to conclude the ceremony, and then we're going to start the recessional. We'll start with the platform party, followed by the students and the audience. So thank you for being here.